This thing on? Everybody's
Yes.
working?
Yes, it is.
I don't believe you.
Yep. You never believe me.
This is true. This is true. I always have issues with that. All right. Well, I'm going to let people go ahead and gather in. But I just wanted to go ahead and get this started. Oh, actually, yeah, I probably better do that, shouldn't I? Yep. Might be a good idea. Funny thing how social networking works.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever thought of just linking your Twitter and your YouTube?
I mean,
Link the accounts so that anytime you post a
they
video, just
were. I thought they were because it auto updates like everything. I just put my own flavor to another post.
maybe it is. I don't know.
The only one I know that I can't do that is Draken Shadow because it won't let me. I've tried to attach the Twitter on that like 20 times and it won't let me do it. Always has some issue with doing it.
Welcome, David Drayman.
Welcome all. Welcome. Okay, let me just go ahead and link this so that we can get this party started. There we go. I can either keep Facebook or I can keep Twitter running. In some cases, I can't even keep one of them running while I'm doing this. It just doesn't work. Otherwise, my computer has a freaking conniption fit, and then I can't, like, the stream will get buggy on me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get this started while people are making their way in. I'm going to preface this, first of all, by saying, and I know I've said it a lot over the last couple of weeks, but currently right now I'm sitting at 104 subs. And I cannot begin or end to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel, checking out the content, even if it doesn't fit for you. That's one of the things I love about all the people that are subscribed to me. Some people like Final Fantasy, but don't like the WoW stuff. Some people like the WoW stuff, but don't like the modern games with my wife. Okay. But everybody at least is a fan of something on the channel. And when I conceptually made this, that's kind of what I wanted, is because I'm a geek of all trades. And therefore I love the fact that even though not every piece of my content works for everybody, I'm at least happy that you guys have your little niche in there. It's like Game Grumps. I mean, that's the best analogy that I can come up with, and probably Alex would agree with me. Not every game that Game Grumps covers am I actually going to watch. I'm not interested in all of it. And so at that point, I love the fact that I can go and watch, if I'm in a Zelda mood, I can go watch the Zelda LPs, things like that. So again, thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have been doing for my channel. And also thank you so much to the actual content givers on my channel. Obviously, you guys can see that the Shadow Blazer himself is joining us for the Q&A right now. Hi, Alex.
Hi there.
Because he's being quiet. I also want to thank those guys, because if not for them, I honestly believe that Geek News Reviews and Opinions would not be a thing. I don't think the podcast would be half as successful as it is right now if it was just me ranting. Because in a lot of cases, that's, I think, why the podcast works for so many, is if they're not a fan of me, they're at least a fan of Aldo, kind of thing. And with that being said, I will actually address one question that I was able to get via private message, not on the video, because the video actually didn't get a whole lot of questions. I was kind of surprised by that. I'm guessing all 104 subscribers are going to show up tonight, because that's what I got from it. Before that, I'm also just going to point this out. This is going to be kind of a casual stream. I'm running off of 4 hours sleep, people. So I have drinks here. I have cough drops here. I have everything that I'm going to need to be able to do 2 hours here and then 2 hours of the podcast later. So if this seems to be a little unprofessional, it's not supposed to be. This is me getting to be me. Not necessarily fulfilling a geek news agenda or anything like that. I'm not saying that I'm not me there, but this is just me unorganized. So at that point, the other thing I'm going to say is, and in response to the question, is this it? Is this everything that you have coming? Like, are you going to add more stuff to it? Because it seems to be that I add something. I think the comparison that they made was like every other month I add something. Alex, is this correct? Do I add something every other month?
What do you mean by add something every month?
Like I add a new show every other month.
Yeah, just about.
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because, I mean, Drac Tries, Drac Vlogs, they're essentially the same thing. So at that point, I actually consider them to be the same show, but just with a different format each time. And my answer is yes. I actually have an announcement to make in the beginning of the stream before we get to the Q&A, and that is that I'm actually going to announce another little mini series within Geek News Reviews and Opinions, which is something that I've wanted to do and have had no way to be able to make it work until taking a couple of years and working on the format. But now I think it's good enough that in the next few months I can start implementing it. And that is, I'm just curious to the people in the chat, how many people have actually seen Why We Love Gaming that Gerard does on That One Video Gamer. I'm not actually asking for a raise of hands, people, but if you've seen that, then that's essentially what this new thing is going to be. I'm going to have a different twist on it. It's going to be more of a podcast / interview kind of thing. And it's basically just going to be following my own philosophy and the philosophy that made the podcast, which is I'm a geek. And to me, geek is passion. Geek means you're passionate about something. And it doesn't necessarily need to be about games. Alex, you're a geek about anime.
Absolutely.
Because you're passionate about it. I have a friend who is completely passionate about fantasy football. I have a friend who's completely passionate about pro wrestling. I have a fan that's completely passionate about movies, TV shows, everything under the sun. And so, frankly, I see no problem being able to showcase that level of geekery. Not in a regular format by any means. Right now I'm thinking this is going to be like once a month, maybe once every other month. But we're going to showcase those by basically having just like an hour-long sit-down. Like, for example, with Alex, we'd bring him in to talk about anime. Or we'd bring him in to talk about Sonic kind of thing. And that's what the format is basically going to be about, is being able to showcase that geekery and the fact that it's not necessarily a bad thing that you're a geek in regards to this. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek, I have, quite frankly, a big list right now. One of which involving a Disney geek. Yeah, a Disney geek, people. That's like how deep I went into this. So we're going to have an hour-long discussion about Disney. I have a Harry Potter fan that wants to be able to do stuff like this. I even work things out with a fantasy football guy. We're still working out the actual month that he's going to come in, but we're going to make it all work. And I think, in all honesty, that would be something that's going to help expand Geek News into what I want it to be. Because here's the truth here, people. Now with Gaming with the Geeks, I don't see Geek News as just being a podcast. I think it's got a format for everything. And with that, and also I guess we should talk about Bonsai, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we should.
So we have an official announcement to make. Geek News Reviews and Opinions will be at Anime Bonsai 2016 in Ogden, Utah, October 20th through 22nd. Does it go through to Sunday?
Through Sunday.
Huh?
Yeah, through Sunday.
Yeah, so October 20th through 22nd, we actually have a panel for that. It's going to be, I believe, at 10 p.m. on Saturday night, and it's going to be talking about getting things started with YouTube, especially if you want to be a critic on YouTube or reviewer or any kind of. I actually think the presentation will be for like anybody who wants to start something on YouTube, because obviously everything starts with an idea.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, we're going to be having a panel at 10 p.m. that night. And then also earlier in the day, we haven't worked out the time yet, but we are going to be hosting a live episode of Geek News Reviews and Opinions. as in you guys can join in and have some fun with us. So you guys can have fun with that. And I think is that all the announcements I have? I need to check my agenda now. Where's? Oh yeah, I don't write an agenda for Q&A live streams. So we'll go ahead and get things started now. This is a Q&A and an Ask Me Anything format. You can ask me anything, but just keep in mind, I have the right to be able to say I'm not going to answer your question. So keep it relevant, keep it clean, and we'll be good. And with that, let's go ahead and join the races. I'm already concerned about some of this stuff because that was actually the only question I got. Is like, is this it? Or are you going to be doing more? Because I did Gaming with the Geeks. We have the group reviews now. We now have this new show, even though I don't have a name for it yet. And I also have some other projects that I can't talk about completely yet because they are still in the making. But I'm looking forward to bringing them to you very soon. Actually, you know what? There's one other thing I want to address while we're waiting for Q&As to questions to come in, and that is that a lot of people have been giving me crap for the fact that I thank everybody at the end of every video now, and I'm thankful throughout all of it. And I've actually gotten this where people think I'm being legitimately pandering, like I'm not thanking anybody. I'm just doing it for the views, kind of thing, and that's. Now, Alex, you'll notice Alex is laughing right now.
I don't know where people get this weird shit from. It's like, thank you, this pandering now?
Yeah, exactly. Well, because he knows it isn't true. Trust me, Alex has to deal with me on a more regular basis than everybody else. And one of the things that he's had to deal with, and is actually, I think you've criticized me on it a number of times, is that I'm the living, breathing example of you are your own worst enemy, because it takes me forever to get anything up because I'm so worried it's going to fail and then I haven't perfected it enough. I am that much of a perfectionist, people. I mean, how long, Alex, did it take for the Sonic videos to go up? I think we debated it like over 2 weeks, didn't we? Because I worked on it and then you approved that, and then I worked on it again and I sent the new stuff to you, and then
right
at that point you got pestered. You actually, I think at that point you got so frustrated with me you were going to upload it yourself.
I can't remember, honestly. That was so long ago.
I just remember because it's like the first, like everybody asks, like, when was the first time that you ever irritated Alex? It was in that time. Shadows, I annoyed him. Phantasy Star, I annoyed him because I was such a perfectionist with it. So at that point, I'm very glad to have somebody like Alex who can just basically sit there and go, Adam, calm down. So with that, let me send something really quick. And let's go ahead and get some questions in here. And welcome to so many. I'm compassionate about Grand Theft Auto 5.
I don't think passionate.
I don't know. Well, I was going to say, I don't think compassion goes into Grand Theft Auto, but okay. No, I'm glad to hear you're passionate about Grand Theft Auto 5. I have a friend who's totally passionate about that game, and I don't know, I may bring him on because there's enough YouTube demand for him, but I don't think he'll ever take it. Yeah, if people watch the Draken Shadow video on and you keep on seeing Storm Shadow 2 what is it, 216 or something like that?
Something like that.
That always comes up, that's him. And so usually, like, when I see him online, he's either playing Grand Theft Auto or he's watching something on YouTube. That's what he's doing. Holy crap, man. People are sending me a bunch of Twitter stuff. I should not have that here. Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm glad that game is addicting for you. But it's the same thing that I tell my friend is like, why aren't you playing this? Because I actually played up until, I think Vice City was the last Grand Theft Auto I played. And the only I loved Vice City just because it was 80s, it has such an 80s touch to it, but I haven't touched a game in the series since. And the reason I haven't is because this is around the time when I really started to love games with legitimate good guys. And therefore, that kind of shaped my playstyle, and I wanted to be a more ethical person when I played a game. Yeah, yes, you can start asking Martanime. Sorry, I thought I made that clear. So what I was saying with that is, like, I stopped playing them, and he got on my case because, like, well, now we have nothing to talk about. We have Gundam, dude. Oh, okay. Because he was actually a big Universal Century fan, and I wasn't. And so at that point, Grand Theft Auto became something to me where it wouldn't be enjoyable because I'd want to be the ethical person. I'd want to go basically live a real life in the game, and I already do that. So now I cling more to fantasy and sci-fi. But yes, you could start asking. My apologies. I tend to ramble. Like I said, this is unedited Adam. This is not Adam like trying to keep down everything that he does, all of his mannerisms, which is good. Because people have also complained that, like, I don't appear real. What's my favorite video game dog? I'm actually trying to think of games that had dogs that were like legitimate characters. I mean, Rush is the one that comes to mind. Maybe Duck Hunt Dog, but nobody loves Duck Hunt Dog. No, if you're a gamer and you play Duck Hunt, you don't love that dog.
Mm-hmm.
That dog haunts your soul. I'd go with Rush. I really, and here's the reason I would go with it is because the Mega Man animated series endeared him so much. So at that point, I like him. Oh, Pokemon dogs. I didn't think about that. Pokemon dogs, like specifically on look. Oh, and we have another guest.
There he is.
Holy fuck, I am here.
Yes,
Yeah.
you officially graced my channel. So first of all, welcome to Anime Atlas. I mean, how many weeks now have you actually brought me onto your channel? It's only fitting that I bring you here now.
A couple weeks, often.
Because I would almost dare say, like, part of the crediting to my getting 100 subs was probably starting to do stuff with you, because then people started to notice who I was.
Yeah, pretty much.
So now here's the other thing that I'm adding in with the Q&A here.
Go for it.
This is Ask Me Anything. The questions can apply to Alex and Atlas as well. So at that point, if they want to answer it, they can. If they don't want to, that's completely within their purview. So I'm going to go ahead and expand the question over to you guys to let you think about it. But yeah, my favorite video game dog, probably Rush, because he's probably like my first ever video game dog that I ever came across.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, when Mega Man 3 got announced and Rush was a big thing, like, I was a little kid, so I'm like, oh, he gets a little dog buddy. Pokemon dogs, I can't really think of one. Like, I can think of a couple that are really cool in design, but would I say they're my favorites? I don't think so. I mean, I like Houndoom. I've always liked the design for Houndoom.
Yeah, Houndoom is fucking fantastic.
I'm trying to remember. Entei, Suicune, and Reiko. Are they dogs or are they cats? Because I've seen posts saying they were both.
I think they're technically cats.
Yeah, I think they're cats.
So I can't do that. I was going to say Entei because he was in the first ever Cthulhian horror, Eldritch horror Pokemon movie.
That is true.
Eevee does technically count as a dog. At that point, I'd probably say Jolteon. Jolteon has always been my favorite.
Jolteon, yes.
Jolteon has always been my favorite Eevee evolution. Just because I love the fact that he gets bug ability. So he's like for me, he's like the ultimate fight for Sabrina. Like, I always bring him in with, I think it's Pin Missile he gets.
Yeah.
Like, hi, Kadabra, Pin Missile. Bye-bye. Yeah, they're called legendary dogs.
Thank you for the link, Shadow, by the way, just so you know.
Oh, good. Sorry it took so many tries.
Yeah, I swear to God, it took like 2 links. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to expand it to you guys. Favorite video game dog for both of you?
While I answer that or Atlas answers, Dave would like to know, what's your favorite Blizzard game?
Ooh, that's a tough one. What is my favorite Blizzard game?
I knew this was coming. I knew it.
So far, I gotta say Overwatch, just because I love first-person shooters.
Why do you tear me apart from the things I love, David Draymond?
I know. Oh, by the way, do you want to know who that really is?
Who is it?
It's awesome anime fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good to know.
Yeah.
So, favorite Blizzard game. See, the first Blizzard game I ever played was StarCraft. So,
Ooh.
like, part of me feels like I should answer that because I didn't touch Warcraft 1 and 2 until years later. But at this given moment, I would actually dare say my favorite Blizzard game is probably World of Warcraft.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because you play it. Like, I see your videos of you posting like World of Warcraft stuff. So you're just going on and on about it.
Well, it's funny because like the whole reason that all started was because people started giving me crap and saying the only WoW videos you ever put up are negative.
Oh, yeah, true.
And at that point, I would actually say that it was even because I had like 2 videos that were positive and 2 that were negative.
Right.
But then I decided, you know what? Considering how passionate I am about the game, I'm going to do some stuff. The only reason that I did that was because I am a passionate fan about World of Warcraft. And I love the story that it tries to tell. And even though people don't normally flock to WoW Let's Plays, actually a lot of people have appreciated the Tale of Drakvu. So I'm thankful you guys have liked that. So here's the thing. I would say my favorite Blizzard game is World of Warcraft, with a very strong second being StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Because I do love the StarCraft mythos. It's one of those things that people got mad at me because I said that Chris Metzen's writing tends to bleed into games.
Yeah.
But if you haven't noticed that, I don't know what to tell you on the matter.
Right.
Because, I mean, there's literally points in StarCraft where you see imagery that has been used in World of Warcraft. Or has been used in Diablo. And I don't care, because that's fine. If anything, it helps the rumor mill that the universes will be connected. But I could agree with you too, Atlas. Overwatch is just shaping out to be such a great game.
It really is, especially with the DLCs that are like slowly coming out. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying it. All right, here's a question for you. How did Geek News come about? Where did you come up with the idea?
You want to know my origin story?
I would love to know your origin story.
It began on a dark and stormy night on October the 5th in 2000. Nah, I'm kidding.
Before YouTube was born.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I've gotten those too. Is like, wow, you must be one of those dinosaurs that literally came out of the womb with a briefcase and a suit. I'm like,
oh yeah,
I really am not. So at that point, how did Geek News come about? Geek News came about because I was getting into my degree over at college, which is radio production. And I really wanted to get into podcasting. I was in the degree, but never planning on going to a radio station to work.
Right.
Because in my honest opinion, like I'm such a hardcore fan of podcasts that I'm one of those people that really do think that radio itself is dying and it's being slowly replaced by podcasting.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so at that point I wanted to get in on the cutting edge stuff. And so at that point, in the radio production class that we had, I had to come up with my own show and I had to host it and I had to figure out all that stuff. And everybody in my class, I have no problem saying this, like there were 20 people in my class and 19 of them were sports radio shows. Maybe we had a couple of DJs in there, but most of it was sports. So at that point, yeah, so mostly sports. And so I came up and I said, I want to do a geek show. And my teacher went, well, you want to do a geek show? What are you talking about with geek? I'm like, well, I'm going to talk about games. I'm going to talk about Apple and I'm going to talk all of this stuff. And that's how Geek News started. It actually started as Adam's Evening of Geekery.
Ooh.
And I really wish I still had the audio for the Evening of Geekery, but unfortunately that's actually kept with Radio SLCC. They have all the audio for that in an archive somewhere.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I don't know. I've made a petition with the head of the radio station a couple of times to be able to get that. And the problem is that there's just too much crap to sift through.
Yeah, there is.
So at that point, it's one of those things where I would love to be able to bring the full archive to YouTube so people can enjoy it, but it just hadn't happened. Fast forward, I got a couple classes down the road, and then eventually I had to go to an advanced class, and they were like, okay, well, we need you to come up with a show. I still wanted to work on mine.
Mm-hmm.
So their first question obviously was, how are you going to improve it? And I'd already been thinking about that, which is I wanted to have like a 3 to 4 person panel just discussing. At that point, it wasn't events of the week. It was just a topic.
Yeah.
And so at that point, I pitched that and they said, well, do you have people? I'm like, no, I don't have people. I don't talk to people.
Ouch.
People kind of drive me nuts. And it just so happened I was also in a journalism class because I had to take a journalism class for this degree.
Yeah.
And that is when I met Aldo Gomez and Stephen Romney for the first time.
Oh yeah,
and,
Steven.
And we hit it off. Like we had a great time. I think I may have scared them a little bit because of how geeky I was getting.
Oh.
But I immediately talked to them about doing it, and originally it was going to be with them because since it was on Radio SLCC, these were 2 prominent reviewers on their newspaper.
Oh wow.
So because Aldo did game reviews for them, and then Romney did movie reviews. So at that point, I was going to bring them on to discuss things, and then I'm trying to think. What was it? The Wind Rises that brought you on, Alex?
That was.
Or did you come on before?
No, it was you brought me in for when we talked about the Wind Rises.
Mm-hmm. And he hit it off. Like people loved him on Radio SLCC, so he just became a part of the podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Because we also loved having him there. In fact, I think Aldo especially loved having him there because Aldo got to be that voice of reason. It was like, "Are you going to let Alex talk?" And this was Alex didn't know if he wanted to do this, so he was like super quiet.
Yeah, there was a user that kept like rambling on in one of my other subscribers' live streams, and he just kept going and going and going, and she finally had enough, and she just kicked him. Shadow was a part of it.
Yeah,
Shadow.
Yeah,
like,
that was fun.
Kept going and fuck.
Alex did?
No.
I was gonna say that doesn't sound like Alex to me.
Oh no, Alex. No. He was a guest.
Yes. Let's see. We got a question in the chat. Did you play Overwatch, Atlas? Obviously,
I did. What do you think, dumbass?
Wow. Hold on. Let's keep it clean here, people.
I know.
Actually, I'm curious. What's your favorite Overwatch character?
Oh my god, dude! I like. God, what the fuck is that? I like Tracer. He's pretty good. There's a lot of characters. I really can't pick a favorite because I use a couple of them.
Wait, you like Tracer? Does that mean you like her butt pose?
Oh fuck no, dude.
I love the butt. Actually,
wait, I thought you said this was a clean show. What happened to that?
What was that?
I thought you said this was a clean show. What happened to that?
No, I guess
it's not.
I love the fact that Blizzard responded to the SJWs by removing the butt pose and replacing it with a butt pose.
Of course.
Hi, Blizz. I will admit my favorites are Reaper, but I have slowly begun to start maining Genji.
Genji, yeah, he's really crazy. You know, just the fucking special move that he uses for it is just amazing.
Well, it was the what are they calling it? The animated short Dragons.
Oh yes,
that made me want to main Genji.
Oh,
because
nice.
that was awesome.
That's amazing.
Let's see. So yeah, we got that one answered. Alex, did you answer your favorite dog in video games?
I'd probably go with Arcanine. I've always liked Arcanine.
Oh, I forgot about Arcanine.
Yes.
Even though I've never been able to acquire him because he's always been like a version exclusive to a version I've never had. But I've always loved Arcanine.
Mm-hmm.
But I played him a lot in Pokemon Stadium. I remember that.
Pokemon Stadium and Stadium 2. Classic.
I always used to mispronounce his name. I always used to say it like phonetically, like RK9, like R-K-9 or something like that. Just RK9, not RK9, RK9.
I will admit the anime made Growlithe grow on me though.
Mm-hmm.
Like for cute cuddly companion Pokemon, the anime really made Growlithe grow on me.
All right, I'm gonna mute the phone.
Mute the phone. What's that? I still have my phone going.
Oh yeah. Okay, fuck it. Unmute the phone.
And Alex, what's your favorite Blizzard game?
I don't think I've ever played a single Blizzard game besides the 10 minutes of World of Warcraft.
No, it wasn't 10 minutes. It was more like 30.
Okay.
And I thoroughly think I scared you off because I just started pelting you with lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy in your guild that pelts you with lore and wants to discuss that stuff. In fact, we just barely started up raiding, and I was going into the lore of the nightmare, so much so that I actually drove a guy to drink. That he doesn't usually drink on raid nights because he tends to not. I'm not gonna be mean. I'm not gonna say names, but he tends to not do very well when he does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it's okay. I'm a bud with him, and it's fine. But at that point, he actually got so mad at me that he's just like, he whispered to me, he's like, "Stop with the lore. Stop. I don't care. I'm here to kill. I'm here to kill pixelated dragons. Just shut up." So,
No wonder why my chat was acting up earlier. On my end.
yeah. So, I really wish I could get back into Overwatch. It's been a while because I haven't even tested Anna yet.
Oh yeah.
I haven't even gotten any footage for her because people will notice I have been so busy with everything else that like playing something casually is almost a non-thing,
Like
for me.
Metal Gear, Rise of the Tomb Raider, all those.
Metal Gear, Rise of the Tomb Raider. I'm actually getting ready to start up Gaming with Geeks with Aldo. And I'm not going to spoil the game here. He gets to spoil it if he comes on. But
yeah,
I've been doing that, Tale of Drakfu, all of the vlogs, all of the tries, all of that stuff. In fact, I'm kind of happy that I get a month break from Draken Shadow Try, or not Draken Shadow Try, Drak Tries.
Oh.
The next one will be World of Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
So excited for that one.
Of course.
The other thing, you want to know? I'm sorry, I'm off ranting, and this is supposed to be about you guys. So keep asking questions. I promise.
No, it's all good, man. You know, you have, dude. This is your show. You have every right to rant about whatever pisses you off.
Well, no, this actually is not a piss off. It's more along the lines of I'm kind of surprised that I didn't get as much hate as I thought I was going to for Mighty Number 9.
Oh yeah, Mighty Number 9. Yeah.
I got a couple. I got a couple who got mad because I didn't account for. They literally sent me this going, I didn't account for all of the crap with concept and all of the Kickstarters and things like that Inafune had started up. Again, this was with the part 1. And even though I'd said that it was going to be 2-part, I'm just like, wait till tomorrow and I will cover all of that. But most of it has been, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I was a Kickstarter backer. I liked it. It's really sad that we're not going to get a sequel out of it.
No.
Kind of thing. But I'm just happy that people didn't get so mad at me. Because I was really worried about it. Like, Alex can attest to this. I was just like, this is going to be Nostalrius all over again. Because the internet and me don't agree on this. And I've tried internet to hate it, but it's good. So I just can't do it. Okay, so
questions in the chat.
My chat may be a little delayed, but another question that I can actually bring to you, Atlas, because you and me got into Blizzard games. So what other games have you played via Blizzard?
I played the early days of World of Warcraft, and then as the expansions were coming out, I kind of lost interest.
Okay.
And started playing some Diablo 3, and I played a little bit of Warcraft 2 and the expansions that came out for it, and then I stopped.
Oh, dude. Then if you're a Diablo fan, then I'm going to tell you need to come back for Legion.
Yeah.
That is Warcraft Diablo edition.
Yeah. I've my friend told me is trying to get me back into WoW. You got to play Legion because it is so awesome. And I looked at it on Twitch and I saw gameplay footage and I was like, okay, yeah, when I get a new PC, I'll fucking get it.
Well, no, it's just like there are so many mechanics now that are inspired by Diablo. That it actually kind of blows my mind that, and people are happy about this. Yeah. Remember the reception that D3, not Reaper of Souls, D3 got.
Oh yes.
And so at that point, I would think that everybody would be it's like, oh, it's WoW, but it's Diablo. It's almost like the teams are merged or something, and everybody loves it. Everybody loves the idea of having bosses that literally have Diablo mechanics, or the world quest mechanic in the game when you hit 110 being like adventure mode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So at that point, I'm surprised that people have been angry with this, but it's been mostly a positive reception, I think.
Right.
So you've played D3, you've played Warcraft 2. You never touched StarCraft at all.
StarCraft, no, but I should because StarCraft 2, man, it looks good.
You should, but I would actually tell you to wait. And it's
Right.
because I really do think one of the big announcements at BlizzCon this year is going to be StarCraft Remastered
Oh, yeah.
in the StarCraft 2 engine. So it'll look even better.
Mm-hmm. Definitely,
And-
for sure.
And with that, now we don't have questions again. Dang it, people.
We can just come up with random topics to talk about.
We
for
can.
sure.
Trust me, we can do it.
It
I can talk
be
Gundam
anime,
all I
it
want.
could be video games, it could be anything Japanese related. I don't care. Let's just have fun.
But games also involve American developers. We don't count EA here.
Fuck EA.
We count BioWare, but we don't count EA.
But you can't count DICE either because DICE is good for Battlefield.
DICE is like 4 strikes with me right now.
Oh yeah.
They really are. Because I did Battlefield back in the day,
Mhm.
and I didn't like it. That's the one thing that I love that the COD fans come out and say I've never even touched them. I've played
Oh,
Call
yeah.
of Duty, and I've played Battlefield. I don't like them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially, I don't like the fact of paying $60 for 2 hours of story gameplay. That bugs the
yeah.
crap out of me. And then the original Mirror's Edge happened,
Oh, Mirror's Edge.
then Battlefront,
Mm-hmm.
and then Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Oh yeah.
So 4 strikes, people. But there you go. 4 strikes. I'll get my fingers up here eventually, people. 4 strikes. 4 freaking
Yeah.
strikes for DICE. I'm sorry. I keep talking over Alex. This is something that happens in the podcast.
Alex, you need to punch him in the face.
too. How do you know he doesn't? He gives me crap. He gives me crap before the podcast too. It's like,
Oh, sure, yeah.
stop talking over me. Dang it.
It's
one of those things that I love the earlier podcasts is that Aldo stepped up and started defending Alex a lot of the time. He's like, you don't let him talk.
True.
Because when he's shy about something, he's like his sister. He sits there blank stared and is like, do you want to get in on the conversation or do you not want to get on the conversation? This is a very different Alex than what you guys have listened to than what actually joined the podcast. Because at that point, I don't think he knew if he wanted to do it.
Right.
So at that point, now he's assertive. Now he states his claim on stuff.
Definitely, for sure.
We could definitely also talk about some of the stuff that we have for Geek News tonight, because I would love to get fellow YouTubers' opinions on a couple of these.
Right.
I'm gonna wake up my daughter tonight. I really am.
Hmm.
There's gonna be.
By the way, how was your Friday night with your daughter last night? How'd that go?
It was good.
That's
We have such fun.
oh,
We do.
I love kids. You have no idea. I had a friend, she used to run a daycare center in her own home.
Yeah.
And I was one of those kids, and it was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go because I went to Arizona for about 9 years, and then I came back here to California, and every spring break I would go to her house over in Victorville and just spend the whole week there and take care of the kids, and it was like, damn. Now I feel guilty.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I'm a parent to 1-year-old, so obviously my night involved just this, like sitting back, feeding her, and watching a little bit of Little Einsteins before she went to bed.
There you go.
Because Little Einsteins is really the only show I'll let her watch, aside from the stuff that I want to show her.
What do you want to show her?
Can I make the joke now, Alex? Because
All
Alex
right.
Alex agrees with this plan,
Go ahead.
but my wife didn't.
Oh,
I was actually going to, like, in a very subtle and evil villain kind of way,
mhm.
like all of my old, like I have a bunch of old DVD collections of stuff I grew up with. And
Uh-huh.
so I was going to create like random Saturday night lineups or
Uh-huh.
Saturday morning lineups and just put them in the DVD player and say, oh, no, we're totally on the TV. We're totally on it. And then just let it run.
There you go.
And it was going to be like Transformers. It was going to be Voltron. I had Gummy Bears.
Gummy bears.
A lot of other stuff. DuckTales, obviously.
DuckTales.
And my wife didn't like the idea because she's like, there's way too much work involved in this. I'm like, but I want to do it. What would you rather have her watching Adventure Time? Adventure Time fans, I'm sorry, I just can't get behind it.
And I've talked to Drac about how many anime I want to show to her as she gets a little bit older. Age appropriate,
sure.
age appropriate, of course. I won't
course, yes.
show her. I'm not gonna show her like Love Hina when she's 6. I'm
You're never showing her.
You can show her Clannad when she's 10.
I'm gonna show her stuff like Angelic Layer when she's 5. And,
Oh my god, Angelic Layer. I remember when I first watched that show, like when I picked up the fucking DVD set, fuck, I just fell into it like real quick and I kept watching it all the way through. I wish there was a season 2. I really wish.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing too, is like he's actually had to bounce this stuff off of me because some of the stuff I'm just like, okay, I don't want stuff that's deep yet. Like Monica, she's too young for that just yet.
Yeah, Monica, yeah, it's pretty dark. You may not want to show her.
Mad Lax, probably a little too young.
Yeah.
What was the other ones that you brought? You wanted to do K-On!, which I can't argue with.
Yeah.
And then was it Haruhi you wanted to bring to her too?
I'm sure again eventually when she's like old enough.
I think at this point the only school days anime I'm going to approve at the moment is just Fruits Basket because that's cute. That's cutesy and simple enough that she'll get it, you know.
Mhm.
But then K-On! There's actually, for as much as I railed on it, there actually is some thought put into the series. I can't deny that.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is open. This is an open Q&A and the Ask Me Anything format, people. So feel free to ask whatever questions you want to ask. But right now, I guess we're talking about the stuff that I'm going to expose my daughter to as soon as I get a chance. Transformers, obviously. I have to do it.
To get her into Transformers.
I have G1. I have Beast Wars. I have Beast Machines. All of that. Disney afternoon stuff. I have to do that.
Hell yeah, Disney-wise.
DuckTales is like a given. If I didn't allow DuckTales, I think my wife would shoot me. Because
Do you have Darkwing Duck in there somewhere?
I don't have a DVD of it, but I would love to get Darkwing in there.
Yes.
It's just one of those things where like I started grabbing this stuff over at FYE. I have it in a box somewhere, and I like when it was super cheap,
Mm-hmm.
I would buy it. And it's just one of those things where I was subject to whatever was at the FYE at the time.
Oh, there you go.
And it was cheap kind of thing. So I never got Darkwing Duck because while I did see box sets, they were like merged box sets that were like $100.
Oh yeah. That's
like,
a tough one.
I don't have $100 to spend, dude. And originally I bought some of that stuff for my nieces.
Ooh,
I didn't buy it with my own kids in mind.
of course.
Or even better, like I actually wanted to borrow. My older brother has the original Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get that and bring that into it because some of that stuff is still dang funny.
It really is. Yes, fuck man.
We'll eventually expose her to The Simpsons, the first couple of seasons.
Yes.
First couple, not the current stuff. No, I'm kidding, Alex. Don't get on my case.
I don't. Well, dude, I'm like about season 10 is when I'm done.
It's whenever Mr. Burns was shot. That's everything past that point. I can't do.
Yeah, because Mr. Burns was fucking amazing.
Well, no, that's when they started to flesh out Springfield, and then in some cases it was like too many characters to keep track of.
Yeah.
There's still quite a bit of good after Who Shot Mr. Burns. I think it's.
I would say that there are some because I actually do like the episode that's much later where Marge gets addicted to an MMO.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice callback to her getting gambling addiction. So it's just one of those things that I liked. Another one that a friend of mine wants me to get her exposed to is South Park. That's not happening for a while.
No. Especially Family Guy.
I know that's not happening.
No.
I can't even deal with Seth MacFarlane's writing style on my own, much less my daughter doing it. I could deal with it the first couple of seasons, and then he just started repeating himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then I started seeing the exact same jokes over and over. Like the best way that I can point it out is the Star Wars movies. I love Blue Harvest. My favorite is something Dark Side. And I hate the Return of the Jedi one.
Oh yeah.
Everything that I don't want in a Family Guy episode. all rolled into one.
Agreed.
And with that, the other series too. I can't do Cleveland. I can't do American Dad. Does Quagmire have one?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but it would only air on HBO. Because it would be totally just porn. But I could totally see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that stuff. Anime that I would expose her to. Fruits Basket is definitely up there.
Would you ever get her into Pokemon?
Her wife will take it. His wife will take care of that. I would have
no choice in the matter. I would like she would start showing Indigo to him or to her, and then I would have no choice in the matter. I mean, I already have a couple of things that I have no choice in the matter. Like she's watching. My wife loves Freeform.
Oh,
she loves all the shows there. Mm-hmm. And when Netflix has the deal where they can get those shows, she watches them endlessly.
Oh my God. So she just marathons right through it.
Yes. And to my utter annoyance, because some of the shows I can deal with, others, like the one she's watching right now, make me want to go bash my head against a wall. Cough, cough, the Fosters, cough, cough.
Yeah.
But like, she's a big fan of Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I can deal with that one. That's fine. It's a whodunit. I'm okay with it. When we first got married, she was watching Make It or Break It because she's a former gymnast.
Mm-hmm.
So she liked that. What's the other one that she likes? Switched at Birth, I think.
Oh.
And can't do that one either.
No, don't.
And it's for no other thing than the writers. I can't stand the writing of either of those shows.
God.
Because you can tell when certain writers just got up on their soapbox and never left. Anyway, so back to other stuff. Actually, you want to know the big question that we're getting is like, what's going to be her first movie?
Ooh.
Like, what's her first movie going to be?
Her first family-friendly movie.
And I don't know. Because she's still fairly young.
Yeah.
Like, I thought about doing Moana, but she loves Little Einsteins, but she, like anything else that has disproportionate humans, she kind of sits there and is kind of weirded out by. So I don't want her to cry.
Yeah, not a good idea.
So at that point, I don't know if Moana is going to be it, but it makes me want to go get like the Disney collection so that she can have all of the other stuff. And then we talked about Rogue One.
Rogue One.
But that's way too loud.
Oh yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah, if fireworks on the 4th of July are going to set her off, then it's probably not a good idea to send her into something with blaster fire. We'll figure something out, but we're gonna make that first movie like family friendly and epic.
Yeah,
for her. I wanted it to be Star Wars, but she'll have that experience, man. Because we got how many Star Wars movies do we have coming out now? Because we have Rogue One, then we have Episode 8, then we have Han Solo, then we have Episode 9, and now we have the Boba Fett movie has now been replaced with something else. That's 5 movies, people.
I know. Disney is just like
pumping them out.
They're just pumping them out. Like, could you not do that? Could you keep them like silenced per year?
A little more spaced, yeah.
Because that's what really builds the hype of Star Wars.
Well, that's the problem. Therein lies your problem, Atlas, because they're partnered with EA.
Oh yeah, true.
Mr. Yearly Release.
Mm-hmm.
So that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you. And that's the sad part about it is like, I would love to be able to say, yep, that's happening, but no.
Nope.
No, not really. It's going to happen every year. And as long as they're good, I don't care.
Yeah, they better be good.
If they start becoming prequel levels of BS, then I'm going to have a problem.
Which Rogue One is a prequel.
Well, Rogue One is a prequel, but I don't have a problem with it right now. Unlike Hayden Chiclet Teeth Anakin, who I had every problem with.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the one thing I will forever remember of his acting career is that scene in the, I think it was Uncle Owen's house or whatever, and him complaining about the sand people.
Oh, the sand people.
where all you saw was his teeth all over the place. And he looked like he literally, like Dennis the Menace, where he inserted chiclets in every slot of his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I didn't even think it was that possible for teeth to be that white. Thanks, Hayden Christensen. You've overwhelmed my expectations once again.
All right, what else do we got that we can
We got
bitch
lots.
about?
Because all of this is for you guys. Again, thank you so much for 100 subs. I really do appreciate it. Even though sometimes I don't provide all of the content that you guys want, I try to do my very best. And yes, I know I kind of suck in some regards, but in a lot of cases, that's why I'm learning here. Is because there's no better way to be able to learn what you're doing wrong if people can't give you that constructive criticism.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be that good.
Well, and frankly, I would actually say I've gotten more constructive criticism than I have in however many years of college education on YouTube than I ever got there.
Right.
So that's another thing too.
Makes me happy to have a job, and thank God we didn't have any fire alarm issues this week.
Yes, that would be a good thing. And welcome, Forlorn Hope.
About my story, didn't I? I didn't tell you.
Hello, Forlorn Hope.
I think you mentioned it, but we didn't get like the details.
Yeah.
So do it, my friend.
Oh, what's up?
I said, do it, my friend.
Okay.
Tell us the details.
Okay. So what happened was we get to our workstation, 8 o'clock in the morning, got everything set up, 30 minutes in, fire alarm goes off, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute, we just had one 2 weeks ago. So, however, this one didn't last that long. It lasted for about 8 minutes. And then we go back in, go to work, then we go to our first break. Second part of the day, 10 minutes in, fire alarm goes off again. And this time, we were out there for an hour. 1 hour we were out there. And I'm like, what's going on here? So we remove our gloves and throw them in the trash, whatever, and we just sit in the grass and just play on our phones for a while, play some Pokemon Go, whatever. And next thing you know, they say all clear. We put our stuff away, go back inside, finish our shift, and go to lunch. The manager walks in and tells us that an idiot broke one of the pipes that was connected to the sprinkler alarm, and water began to leak out, and that's what set off the alarms. And I'm like, really?
You mean those pipes that are supposed to be in the walls?
Yeah. They're connected to the ceiling pipes as well.
Yeah.
Because once in a blue moon in a warehouse setting, you have to run the waters so that it doesn't, because if you leave the water sitting for over like 6 months, I think, the pipes would start to mold and probably crack and all that kind of shit. So they have to run the waters and let them drain for like 30 minutes before you can actually do a fire alarm test.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the guys cracked the pipe somehow or disconnected one of the circuits and was able to break the pipe, and water started pouring out, and everyone had to evacuate because of that. And it took them about an hour to fix it, and they had to test the alarms one more time.
And what kind of a job is this? This is a call center, or is this a warehouse job?
No, this was in the warehouse.
Okay.
This was at the Walgreens.
So that's a lot of production that just got lost for an hour.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so they had to keep a few of the people that were in the shipping department. They had to work 2 more hours because of that, so that they can catch up on production.
Yeah, you lost an hour, but now you have to make up for that lost hour plus an extra one.
Yeah, which sucked, but it was okay. We had fun.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they let you play Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
So,
they have to let you do something, because when you're out of the building, they have to let you do something.
Exactly.
So.
I remember having like fire scares in a call center, and like they want you to stay within a certain area, but they can't prevent you from doing anything.
Yeah, they can't at all.
And frankly, they're not going to.
Worse, there was a lady that was going to have pizza on that same day, and the pizza guy was out at the gate, and he couldn't be let in. So the pizza guy had to go deliver to other places while we were under a fire drill maintenance.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked for that lady. She had to wait for her pizza later.
Yeah. We actually got a question. So, but first I'm going to take care of one other piece of business because now you've reminded me, Atlas, and that is Alex. Pokemon Go. When is that going to happen? Because people have been asking.
Whenever you want.
We actually need to get it out soon because it's like almost October, and I don't know if that's going to change like the Pokemon that you get, but it's going to get colder. So we'll probably have to do that in like the next week or two.
Right.
I think it's going to be like we're going to record for like 2 hours or something like that, and then just edit the highlights.
Yeah.
And you guys get to see me play Pokemon Go so that everybody can get off my case. I don't hate Pokemon Go.
There you go.
Just name the date, Adam, and I'll bring my camera and we'll go out to hunting for some Pokemons.
Do we want to use that one instead?
Just make sure that you don't discover any dead bodies along the way, okay?
Good point.
Good to know. Good thought there. So Norlax, first of all, welcome Norlax. We've been seeing you a lot on the podcast, and I want to be able to say hi whenever I can.
Yeah.
So this is actually, I think, a couple of questions. So what is your favorite PC console strategy or sim game?
Ooh.
So Norlax, is that multiple questions or is that one? Like, because that's really specific.
I think it's just one. I think it's a strategy sim game either on PC or console.
When it comes to a simulator game, I would play it on PC just because it runs smoother.
Mm-hmm. I've always been partial to anything in the SimCity series, really.
Mm-hmm.
I've only played up to SimCity 4, but I played Sim Societies, which was fun because that actually had a sandbox mode where you could just build to your heart's content.
Yeah, that was always fun. I enjoyed that game.
Yeah.
I can't, like, for me, because like I used to love SimCity. I was actually like, if anybody's ever seen those dorkly videos of people playing Roller Coaster Tycoon,
oh yeah,
I was that kid. All right, like I would intentionally break things in the city and just see it go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
I don't really like the sim games anymore. Like I tried Civilization, who knows how many times, and I just can't get into it.
Right.
I would say my favorite PC strategy game, obviously, is my first love, and that would be StarCraft. Because I can't play other strategy games. I can't. I used to be able to play Command & Conquer. And then Command & Conquer went off the freaking rails, and I couldn't do them anymore. And that really sucked because I loved Kane from those games.
Yeah.
But StarCraft is my one true love, and obviously that would be my favorite PC strategy game. My favorite console one, and I have a feeling you guys are going to be seeing a lot more videos of it in the future. I just don't want to play it on PC anymore. Stardew Valley.
Oh, all right.
I am literally breaking my thumbs waiting for it to hit consoles.
Yeah.
Because it's due Q4, I believe. And I've never played a single Harvest Moon game ever in my life, guys. But yet, when I was actually playing Stardew Valley, I don't know if it came across in the videos, I was actually enjoying myself.
Oh, yeah, you got to enjoy yourself one way or the other.
Yeah, so at that point, I've been waiting very, very, very patiently for that to come back to come on consoles. I just can't play it on PC anymore.
Right.
Because in some cases, I spend so much time in front of my PC that I want reasons to get away from it.
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't like Pokemon. I don't hate Pokemon Go. I don't. I'm okay with people who want to play it. I just don't have the time. Like I literally look at things like Pokemon Go and insert, like Farmville or things like that, and just look at the time sink that they are. Like I've never played Elder Scrolls. I'll never get into Elder Scrolls because it's so much time.
Yeah, Elder Scrolls, you're gonna have a hard time.
Mm-hmm. because I literally look at like how long it takes to beat them and things like that, and it's like 60 hours. I
Yeah.
don't have 60 hours.
I remember playing Skyrim, man. That game was fun.
I'm waiting for Wii U, Stardew Valley myself. Yeah, I haven't decided yet on my console because I kind of want it on PS4. But I wouldn't mind it on Wii U either, because then I could play it at night when my wife has gone to bed.
There you go.
Everybody sees my priorities now.
Yeah.
I want to be able to play it on PS4 so I can play it on the Vita, but no.
Oh, yeah.
Pokemon Go, I have to say the novelty falls off. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, what? I'm sorry, Noralex. Did we not answer your question properly? Because you said you wanted a open-ended. StarCraft for me, I don't think is open-ended.
Damn, it's already 7:01 over here. Fuck.
Yeah. We got one more hour, people. So continue to send in your questions. This is again an Ask Me Anything format. So keep your questions clean, because I also will refuse to answer them if they're, well, if you ask me like how big my whatever is, I'm probably not going to answer it.
He's happily married.
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so. Marriage is a wonderful institution, and I highly recommend it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Wanted to make sure that we answered it. One of the things I'm really happy about, and also Alex is very happy about, is I haven't had to go to these yet. I have some bad ticks, and I was hoping that they would not go off during this live stream. Thankfully, they haven't.
That's good.
Actually, a question that I get a lot is like, why do you cough so much on Draken Shadow videos and all that stuff? And it's I don't like admitting it, but it's more of a.
It's
tick
hard to
thing
hit the
than
mute
anything else.
button before you cough.
Well, it's not only that; it's just a tick thing. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't have control over it in some cases.
Mm-hmm.
Best way to explain it to people is like everybody probably had that one name that they got called in high school. Mine was Cough Boy.
Nice.
Not happy about that. So that just happens.
By the way, what is that little poster next to your door behind you?
Oh, that actually was given to me by the Shadow Blazer. It is a Captain America comic cover.
Awesome.
Because I didn't like Captain America growing up, but ever since Chris Evans started playing him, I have no problem with the guy.
Amazing.
It's one of those things where I'm going to feel really bad because we're probably not going to get Robert Downey Jr. in my favorite role anymore. And I might not even care because Benedict Cumberbatch is looking so good as Doctor Strange that I might not even care. But I love Iron Man. Speaking of which, so people actually wanted to ask me this. What are my opinions on a female Iron Man? Okay.
Might as well call her Iron Woman.
They went with a different name, but it's basically that it's a strong black businesswoman, and I don't have a problem with it. As long as you got a story to go with, I don't care. I haven't been able to pick up those comments yet. I don't even think they're on Comixology yet. So, but I have actually said that I want to read them just to see if they came up with a good idea for Iron Man.
Right.
Because unlike a lot of people, I didn't like the whole iPod Man that we got last time.
Oh, iPod Man, God.
Where he was all sleek and looking like an Apple product. I was like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Samsung though, to be honest.
I don't.
It was.
Because at that point, here's the thing. Like, I don't care that he looks more sleek or whatever. My only problem is like I love the rough and crude kind of imagery that the early armors had.
Yeah, pretty much.
In fact, one of my favorite ones is one that a lot of people say, "What are you, crazy?" And it's like the 2001 that got featured in Marvel vs. Capcom and Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Number 2, best game ever. I don't care what anyone says.
I like 3, but I'll admit it has some problems.
Yeah.
And I love the people who actually came up to me and go, "I main Phoenix Wright." That you don't main Phoenix Wright. Nobody mains Phoenix Wright.
Can't wait for Evo next year.
Are there any games that I'm interested in Evo next year? Killer Instinct, Street Fighter 5 probably.
Yeah, especially Smash Melee.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they have Melee, and then did they actually start up a Brawl tournament?
I have no idea. I
would love
watch.
to. I'd love to see if like they have all of the variations. So like, there's an original Smash tournament, there's a Melee tournament,
Yeah.
there's a Brawl tournament, and then there's Smash Bros for Wii U. Although I've actually been kind of surprised at the positive reception that hardcore community has given to the Wii U version. I mean, they still stick to Melee.
They do. Melee still gets played every day.
But at the same time, they don't harp on it as hard as they did Brawl. So I would actually say that's a victory in Nintendo's eyes. Speaking of Nintendo, since I'm not seeing any questions, people wanted us to actually address this. Am I excited that the Pokemon Company is making a game for NX?
Well, are you?
I'm not surprised.
Really, I'm
of
not
course
surprised.
They're making a game. But if it's a console, it's going to be like, Gale of Darkness or something like that, and I'm okay with that.
Can we have a Pokemon Stadium 3? Can we have that?
I think XD is all you're ever going to get.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know that people have been screaming for Stadium 3, but
yeah,
Pokemon Snap 2.
Oh, that you're never getting that.
You're never gonna get that, dude.
Oh, why not?
And mark my words, the reason I'm saying that is because now that I haven't knocked on wood 2 years later, it's coming out for 3DS.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or the handheld version of the NX. I don't know. I don't care. Announce the damn thing already, Nintendo.
Right.
It's one of those things where it almost made the agenda tonight for the podcast. Almost. You want to know why it didn't make it? It's another NX thing. And unless the NX is being unveiled, I ain't talking about it.
It's probably going to be unveiled at E3 next year. Who knows?
So after it's been released?
Well,
because it's due for March.
Man. You never know, man, because they could delay it.
Oh, they could. Oh, they totally could. Nintendo and I think Sony have kind of the notorious console delay reputations.
Yeah.
So at that point, they could totally do it. I think the speculation was either going to be late September or mid-October.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with mid-October because they want to get the hype going.
I would rather say mid-October or at least early to mid to late November.
I don't want to say that late because they already have to advertise everything else that they have coming out. And I don't even know, like, off the top of my head, the big games they have coming out for the holidays.
Yeah, especially the bigger games.
But they have to get into that advertising mode at that point.
Yeah.
So I would think that they need to get the NX announcement out of the way.
Yeah.
So that then they can focus on advertising those games and hyping the NX for March. But this is Nintendo we're talking about, and Nintendo does things by Nintendo's rules. Nintendo's like, somebody pointed out to me, Nintendo is like Karl Malone, because Karl Malone gonna do what Karl Malone gonna do, and ain't nobody gonna tell Karl Malone what to do, because Karl Malone gonna do what Karl Malone gonna do.
Exactly.
And that's true.
Shadow, I will do everything in my power to steal your Black Rose poster. Just be aware of that, okay?
I will guard this thing with my life.
So what you're both are saying is I expect in 2 weeks to find out 2 YouTubers dead over a poster. Oh, dude, like, so
Police
actually,
responsible party. # held responsible.
Yeah,
Exactly.
pretty much.
First thing ever covered by YouTube heroes. Actually,
I
so
heard about YouTube heroes, but I don't know about that.
well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it tonight.
Good.
In fact, one of the things that I'm going to say right here and now is everybody say thank you to Alex for paying for the Prozac budget on the podcast tonight, because 80% of the depressing stories were brought up by him.
Oh, God.
So
Yeah, I only got 3/4 left because all my money's gone to Prozac.
it's almost like you needed Prozac to read these stories.
I got these 3/4 left.
So the other thing that I still get stuff on, Alex, is did you finally fix your error? Did you finally get a legit Lacus doll? Or a figurine?
No, I haven't found any legit Lacus. All I ever find... Well, I know I've seen some legit Lacus, but it's like... it's the only other Lacus I've seen so far is her in the outfit when she confronts Athrun. So, and I gotta say, I don't think I like that outfit very much.
I agree with you, but I just love the scene. That's the thing.
I
I will say, for the record, though, he did change his video, people. He did change the headline to say Mir Campbell.
Yeah, I did. And I put up an annotation correcting myself because the seller told me it was Lacus Klein. I believed it.
Yeah. Because somebody actually did send me this. It was like, oh my gosh, you're a Gundam fan. You should totally smack him upside the head. This is not Lacus Klein. That's Mir Campbell that he's working with. Okay. Reason number 235 that I need to smack Alex. I never will because I'm too lazy for that.
You're just like me. I'm too lazy to dust my room, but I finally did it last weekend.
Oh, trust me, this place needs a dusting. In fact, I just barely. That's another thing that's going to happen over the next couple of months is you're going to start seeing a lot more acoustic foam in here because we're going to make this a legit studio.
Yeah,
I just haven't had the money to be able to do it. Now I kind of do. So now we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, so this actually got asked of both of you too, and people asked me, did you audition for Mass Effect Andromeda? Yes, I did. Unlike Stephen Romney, I did not post it. I think he put up a YouTube video of his audition, and I did audition. I don't know about these guys, but no. Yes, I did. Stop talking to me about it already.
That's good.
As I said on the podcast, I'm not an actor, so I didn't bother auditioning for it. So
I suck at acting.
Here's my ulterior motive. Go ahead.
I just think, I had such a hard time getting through the Genshiken recording sessions we did, and I had such a bit part that doing this would be so pointless for me. I can't act.
Well, I mean, the first day that came out, I think I got messages from a couple of subscribers and friends just like, are you going to do this? You should totally do this. Are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? Like, of course, it's Mass Effect. I'm going to do it. I'm probably not going to get in there. Like, I'm not going to be the grand prize winner who goes out to BioWare Studios. But of course I got to do it. I mean, for crying out loud, I missed the Old Republic. I wished I hadn't missed that one.
Uh-huh.
I probably would have been in an MMO for crying out loud.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have picked the voice where I was like that one stalker kid in your high school.
Oh, yeah. God.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. So that's what happens. But no, I totally auditioned for that. And I wanted to. So it's out there, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative here. I'm not holding my breath, but I moved on to other projects since then. Because it's one of those things where I can't obsess over each audition that I do. I have to go do something else. Otherwise, if I obsess about it, then I'm Mr. Anal that Alex has to deal with on a regular basis. And he's like, shut up, Adam. Can't deal with this with you.
That is true.
That is true. So, I don't want to get into the controversial topics. We'll get into that in Geek News. Oh, the one thing that people, because this isn't actually going to make the agenda, but somebody actually sent this for both Alex and Aldo. Are you excited? Hideaki Anno no longer working on Shin Godzilla. He's working on Ava 4.44.
We'll see.
Oh, no.
Because I know he also, just a week ago, said he'd be interested in doing a Godzilla sequel if Toho gives him the green light. So I'll believe it when I see it, Otto. Well, you've been promising Ava 4 for the last 4 years.
Let me put it this way. This was, and Atlas, you'll appreciate this, because this was my actual reaction to the story getting posted in our little Geek News group. And that was, this just in. Anno tired of working on Ava and moves on to new Macross adaptation. I thoroughly believe that Hideaki Anno will never get this done. He just can't.
No, he sure can't.
It's like Valve counting the 3. It ain't happening.
Ava just eats the poor man alive every time he goes into it.
He does.
It's like, oh, my poor soul. And then he flips everybody off, and he's okay with it.
Yeah.
Speaking of, did we dare spoil that one too, Alex? Or do you think Aldo will get mad?
I'm pretty sure.
No, let's talk about.
So another panel that actually me and Alex will be doing with Aldo Gomez, he's actually hosting it at Anime Bonsai, is what is it, 20 years of Ava?
Yeah, 20 years of Ava.
20 years of Ava, where we're going to be talking for, I think, an hour on the legacy of Evangelion. And it's going to be interesting, too, because I'm on the panel, and I'm not a fan of Ava.
Ouch.
I appreciate
Gundam, but you should watch Ava.
No, I've watched Ava, and I appreciate its legacy, but where a lot of people take the problems and the inconsistencies that happen later on and praise it, I don't.
Right.
I don't. I call it lazy writing. I call it everything under the sun. And but here's the thing. It's like people think I'm an outright hater. No, I appreciate the legacy that Ava has, especially in the mecha genre.
Right.
Because how many Ava fans went off and watched Gundam? How many Ava fans went off and watched Eureka 7 or Code Geass? A bunch of people did. So it's one of those things where Ava is actually kind of a good starting point for mecha anime. I would actually dare say it's probably a better starting point than things like the original Gundam.
I miss Gundam, even though I'm watching Iron-Blooded Orphans.
I wish I was watching Gundam, but, well, I can't do that no more because every time I try to watch Double Zeta, the site gets shut down. I may actually have to pay out the $60 to get the final collection for Double Zeta just to watch it.
Yeah, just get the fucking physical copies, man, because goddamn.
Well, there's a bunch of series that I can't even do that for because, like, I'm going to go into the OVAs, too. I've never seen 0080. I've seen, like, maybe 2 episodes of 0083.
Yeah.
And I want to watch it all. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Are you talking about Ava 3.33? I haven't seen that one yet. No, what we were talking about was Ava 4.44. How now that Hideki Anno is no longer working on Shin Godzilla Forlorn Hope, he's now said he's going to go work on Ava 4. And none of us believe him.
That's true.
I was gonna say Ava 3.33. You mean that other Dragon Shadow review that gets like tons of views?
Yeah, that's
our Ava 3 vlog. That was like the first vlog we ever did.
Mm-hmm.
Was it?
I think The Hobbit was the first one we ever did.
Yeah, I think we did Desolation of Smaug first, and then we did Ava 3.33. Because that's when we found out that Aldo was an anime fan, or was an Ava fan in particular.
Right.
I think they were talking about it before. Will it ever finish? No. This is like Duke Nukem Forever. You may get it 15 years later and with half of the effort put into it.
Forever. That's all I gotta say. Fuck it.
Well, don't say that because we've already gotten requests to play it on Dragon Shadow. We might have to, but
ouch.
I'm kind of hoping to hold off on it because now they're going to do Duke Nukem 3D 20th Anniversary Edition.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So at that point, maybe we'll do that one first to get Alex used to the Duke.
You should,
and then we'll play forever. Well. If I could get my hands on them and they actually would work on my PC, then yeah, I would do it.
Yeah,
like the old side scroller ones, but now they run horribly on Windows 10.
Oh yeah.
So it's one of those things where I also get requests to do Diablo, and I already had problems trying to run Diablo on Windows 7. I don't even want to think of all the problems that I would have on Windows 10.
Right.
It's kind of one of those things where I'm really hoping because there are hints that at BlizzCon we might also get Diablo 1 and 2 remastered. And if they did that, I would totally play them. Even Diablo 4, I would do it. I'd see. So any other topics that we can get into? Oh, you know what? We have a bunch of anime fans here, so I have to ask this.
Okay.
Because we're going to discuss it later. Is Ghost in the Shell? Have you guys seen the little Easter egg trailers that have been spamming me endlessly on YouTube?
Yes, I've seen them.
I've seen a few. Yeah.
Thoughts?
Well, visually, it looks pretty all right.
Yeah,
the teasers don't really.
I would say some of the trailers are really good.
Yeah, I know they're teasers, and I get the point of the teaser, but they still don't do a lot for me other than visually. I think it does look pretty darn good, but I'm just like I liked I found a fan-made trailer that I think got me a little more excited, so to speak, for it compared to
What, like
that.
they hashed them all together, or
Yeah, I posted this on our own thread, in fact, in our Geek News feed, but that somebody took all the 5 little teasers, seconds each, smushed them together, added making up the song making up a cyborg, and added some other flavors to it to make it feel like a regular teaser trailer would, and that worked a lot better for me than
I
just
haven't.
watching all five.
I'll have
Of
to
those
watch that little
teasers.
compilation. I've seen them, but I didn't see them together. I've been pelted by them since they started happening. Like almost all of the advertisements that I have gotten have been Ghost in the Shell. And while I think a few of them are interesting, I especially like the one where she's walking into a bunch of monks attached to one network point.
Uh-huh.
That looked really, really cool to me. That actually like made me think of Bebop. If you remember the episode Brain Scratch, it made me think of that one point in there where Spike goes into the room full of TVs.
Ooh,
and
yes.
it starts like attacking him. Because I thought that would be perfect, or that was the perfect kind of analogy that they were going for. But the rest has been like, okay, she's sitting on a bed, awesome. She's talking to another girl, okay. We have Takeshi Kitano, is that his name? Did I get it right?
I think so, yeah.
Where he's beating the crap out of somebody and unloading his gun, okay. But I got pelted with them so much, I'm actually kind of annoyed with them.
Yeah.
Let's see. You guys haven't seen it yet. You guys can go see a full-on compilation of them because now they're all over the place. I will admit it doesn't do a whole lot to get me excited for Ghost in the Shell because I don't even think a full-on trailer is going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm still worried about the director. I'm still worried about the direction they're going. So it's going to be something that has to happen, and I have to deal with it.
Hey, Shadow, good thing you didn't join me on last night because I was having internet issues.
Internet issues on the internet?
I swear to God, because what happened was, like, because I had, like, 2 other people in my stream last night, and I kept cutting out on the Hangouts. And thank God that the stream didn't end at that point because I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I had that problem earlier this week too because I was actually going to live stream all the raiding that I was doing this week. This is the first week of all the WoW raids opening, and what I got told from other people who are trying to stream is that YouTube was getting pelted by too many people wanting to stream raids, so they started kicking them out. And apparently, it was a problem not only on YouTube but also on Twitch.
Oh yeah, because of the whole new expansion and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, so at that point, I was going to record all of the raid footage that we got, but no. Every time I logged in, I got pelted, or I got tossed right back out for dropping frames.
That sucks.
Yeah, because I'm like, wow, more WoW footage. Granted, it's with my guild, and my guild I'm not going to censor to save my life, but well, my guild would offend some people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it goes. You can't edit people.
As
much as you would like to try, you can't.
If you have a good video software to edit, then you should be okay.
I was using XSplit, and it just kept on kicking me out for dropping frames. So, just the way it goes.
Your PC must be tired.
Well, yes. I basically do editing and everything. I've actually considered like getting a separate tower just to put all my editing software on.
Yeah.
So that I can use my actual tower as just a gaming PC, and then I can have an editing PC.
There you go. I know a guy on YouTube. I'm sure. Have you ever heard of the YouTube user named GigaFrosty?
I might have.
Dude, like he is the god of like everything collective anime. Like his entire apartment is just nothing but anime DVDs and Blu-rays. And it's like he's got like 4 or 5 custom built computers with so many fucking hard drives to store his anime on. And I'm like, dude, wherever you work at, can I have your job, please?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly, because I mean, I can even now I can't afford to do like all the big anime purchases that I want to do, and most of it is because all the stuff I want to own is out of print.
Yeah. Speaking of
Because
Yeah.
print,
I mean, I
I
want to get
pre-ordered-
Gundam, but there are a bunch of other series that I would love to be able to get.
Yeah.
and they're just not distributed anymore. I think Tekkaman Blade is another one that doesn't really have a distributor right now.
yeah.
All of its stuff is like $250 on Amazon.
Speaking of out of print, I'm gonna go on Right Stuff real quick and see which ones have ran out of print on Sentai's end. Because there was one that I bought back in July of last year.
Wow, and for the like you said Sentai, and the first thing that came to my mind was Super Sentai, and then I'm like, oh no, Sentai Filmworks, never mind.
Yeah. All right, hold on.
I get that, honestly. Like I've gotten requests to go, and I think they're from Romney's fans, to go and watch Super Sentai with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's like I'm kind of halfway into the idea. I'm like, I might not be against this. I might want to see like the original Sentais and see how good they were.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd
definitely
I'd like to do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be busy with other things, my friend.
Yeah,
Because-
I know.
Because on my way, or it's on the way now, people can actually expect that this is going to be a Draken Shadow vlog, I think.
Uh-huh.
The Transformers, the movie, 30th anniversary. Because Alex has never seen it.
Oh, wow.
Yes, he's never seen it.
Yeah.
His only exposure to Transformers movies is Michael Bay. I am so sorry,
I
Alex.
feel sorry for you, dude.
We need to fix this.
Wow, No Game No Life Collector's Edition is still in stock.
Okay.
And it has been out since July 28th. I got mine early, actually, via pre-order.
Mm.
Yep.
Techno Man, I agree with you, Norlax. I think it was a good series. I've never been able to finish it.
You gotta finish
'Cause-
it. It's actually pretty good.
No, because I mean, when I watched it originally, it was on Fox, and all the anime that was on Fox was like put at 5 a.m. So obviously, I'm not going to be awake at that time.
Kind of reminds me of Cartoon Network, like Dot Hack
Oh,
was
yeah.
around 5:30 and 6.
I had to
Yeah.
finish both Gundam Seed
Yeah,
and
works.
Yu Yu Hakusho
Mhm.
that way because they were on at like 4:30 or 5. And that was absolutely stupid.
Right.
So like I saw up to the Sensui arc with Yu Yu Hakusho, and then I watched the whole Demon Tournament that way. IGPX, I watched a good portion of episodes that way too. Dot Hack,
Yeah.
Sign, I watched a good portion of those episodes, but not Legend of the Twilight.
Oh.
What was it? And Fox was like the biggest culprit of this because I wanted to watch Techno Man. I wanted to watch Ronin Warriors. But all of this stuff was like on at 5 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Well,
And I was a teenager at the time, and my mom was not going to let me get up at 5 a.m. It's like, now you got to go to school in 3 hours. I'm not going to have you wait that long. I'm sorry, Alice, I interrupted you.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, I gotta go because
Oh.
I gotta make dinner and take care of the animals
Okay.
because they miss me. Because I'm in my
I'm
room.
sure they do.
I never leave my door open. To be honest, I really don't. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming. We basically curtailed your weekend, Jenna, because we wanted to be able to bring you on here.
Fuck yeah.
So, thank you so much for showing up. And I have
You
a
better
feeling
fucking bring me in geek news, man, because you guys talk about it all the time, but you never fucking let me know.
we're working on that actually right now. So, like,
yeah, we will.
it's going to happen. I promise you that, Atlas. We're going to bring it in.
Yeah.
And actually, you know, I don't know if you caught my beginning announcement, but I actually got in a little subsection that I think you'd be perfect for as well. So we'll probably talk about this later.
Yeah. We'll do.
But yeah, thank you so much for showing up, man, and thank you so much for all that you're doing for my channel.
I'll be on next Saturday, and I'll make sure to get you in here. Hopefully, when you have spare time, and because I know Shadow he'll join because he's always free on Saturdays.
Yeah, and Saturdays are going to start freeing up because now my wife's schedule is kind of evening out, and she actually doesn't work on Saturdays.
That's good.
So I might be able to show up a little more often.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we'll see your daughter again, because I like it when she makes noises and you agree with her.
Yes. Oh yeah, she's making noises right now. I don't know if you can hear her, but yeah, she's talking. She's definitely talking. Just wait till later. She's gonna be screaming because, well, Daddy's gonna be screaming.
Right.
But all right, well, we're not gonna keep you any longer. But thank you so much for showing up, Atlas.
All right, buddy. You guys take care. I'll try to get into your stream tonight. If not, I'll watch it tomorrow and I'll leave a comment.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right, Shadow. All right, Drek. See you all later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. And so again, this is we actually are coming up on the last half hour. So, and we've had very little questions actually been asked in the 100 subscriber Q&A.
Saturday night.
Which is fine. You know, that's just the way it works. I mean, I tried to make this work during the week, but I just can't make it work.
Yeah. It's hard to coordinate these streams and big audience for them. That's why I don't do it very often, I think.
That's why in a lot of cases I'm going to look forward to things like Bonsai, because Bonsai is going to basically allow for us to meet a lot of people, and maybe, or I always hope that I will be able to bring in at least one new fan to the podcast, especially for Bonsai and all of the stuff that I'm doing for that. So, and I have no problem admitting I'm very nervous about Bonsai because I'm not a con person. Alex can attest to this. I'm not a con person.
Yeah, he's not.
No,
I am.
No, I don't normally do them, but enough of reasoning was given to me to come to Anime Bonsai and advertise the podcast and join in on a couple of paddles. So that's going to happen. Did you guys all watch Dot Hack on Toonami? No. I don't even think it ever hit Toonami, did it?
Yes, it was. At first, anyway. But I don't remember how many episodes they went through on Toonami before they dumped the Toonami block and just pushed it to late night. But it was on Toonami, and I did watch it. The first handful of episodes that were there.
Yeah, because my first interaction with it was it wasn't Toonami, it was the Saturday block that became Toonami. Toonami became it, and then later on Adult Swim brought in the new Toonami to kind of emulate that.
Yeah.
But like things like Saint Seiya was on it, SD Gundam, I want to say IGPX was on there for a while, Code Lyoko.
Yeah, IGPX. That was a Toonami original.
I need to finish that. I do. I actually want to see how it ends. I'm legitimately interested in how IGPX ends.
Yeah, I've never seen the full series, but I saw the little micro series they used as a sort of launch pilot, I guess you could call it, for what would become the full series. I liked the micro series.
I liked what I saw of the. I don't know if I was watching the micro series of the big one, but I liked it. I liked what I saw, and really wish that I could have gotten more episodes out of it, especially since it was a Toonami original, wasn't it? Like they were actually funding it.
Yeah.
So that was a big milestone for them. You actually could have had more like Toonami original stuff. Like we have a bunch of Netflix original stuff now. Just think if Toonami had original stuff, would it still be around right now? Like would it have ever had its like 2 to 3 year absence? Absolutely not. It would have been awesome. I like B-Train. Yes. I like the was it B-Train that did IGPX?
They did the original micro series. The full series was Production IG.
B-Train, as in like Blood Plus? Was it Blood Plus that was done by? No.
No. As in Madlax, Noir, Dot Hack.
Oh, okay. All right. I was trying to remember like who is the Blood Plus people?
Production IG.
Production IG. What days are your panels? I'll be there on Saturday and Sunday. We are on Saturday, and it's pretty much spread throughout the entire day. So we don't have the live podcast set yet as far as time. We're thinking like early afternoon. My Geek News panel is going to be happening at 10 p.m. on Saturday night. And before then, at 2 p.m., Aldo Aldo Gomez will be hosting a 20 Years of Ava panel that me and Alex will both be a part of. Where I'm going to be the one guy that people throw tomatoes at because I don't like Ava. Just because I can appreciate its legacy doesn't mean I have to like it. And I don't like it. I don't. I mean, it's one of the things that I've gotten crap for, but I believe honestly, Seed, as far as I'm concerned, Kira Yamato is Shinji Ikari done right. Where, yes, he is a very pitiable person at the beginning, but he eventually grows into it. And I get that people love Shinji, that the fact that he never got over that hump, but I don't. I actually like the fact that, people actually realize that, yes, they are. It's one of those things that makes me kind of irritated. That last statement that Shinji makes at the end is like, I'm a coward. I'm dishonest. I'm sneaky. I'm a wimp. And then he never goes into positives for himself. Like, but I've been saving the world, but I've been making good friends, and maybe through them I can become better. It's just the constant, I'm a piece of crap.
Yeah.
And I just can't be that guy. I used to be that guy. That's why I can't get into it. I used to be that guy. I can't do it. And therefore I can't get behind characters that are. Because eventually... Huh?
I just reminded myself. I should also mention I'm on the panel.
Uh-oh. Internet issues for Alex.
Pokemon Myth and Legends 20 years. Am I frozen? What's going on?
Oh, you're just back now.
Okay. Shit. So yes, what I was trying to say is that I too am on a different panel. I'm also a part of the Pokemon 20 Years of Myths and Legends, which is also hosted by Aldo.
Is there a panel that Aldo isn't hosting?
I don't know.
For Bonsai. This has now become a question for me. Like, is he just all of Saturday's agenda on Bonsai? Is that why he's giving me crap that I scheduled things at 10 p.m. and therefore I guess he can't drink? I'm sorry. I tried to keep things as close as I could, and I also wanted to just keep it late so that I could, take care of my daughter and be able to go over there. We would love to have everybody, as much people there as we can get. We have lots in store there. I'm hoping that we'll be able to pull off half of it, and we don't just drive ourselves into the ground. I will say this though: on Saturday, October 21st. I don't think it's going to be live, so you won't get an episode of Geek News that night. It's just because we're going to be at Bonsai.
All right.
So I'm hoping that maybe we'll bring my camera so that we can record the panel, and you guys can get that as an episode. Here's hoping, anyway. That's my hope. Oh man. And things are kind of winding down here, but we're going to keep the stream going for any questions that you guys want to ask. I almost want to get into Geek News topics, but I don't want to get into Geek News topics because a lot of them are really depressing. But I have so many things to say. So many. So many. What?
Maybe this is just a typo, but I noticed on the agenda we only have story 2, 3, and 4 in the tech hour.
I just forgot to change that.
Okay.
I just forgot to change that. So, because occasionally I just keep something blank so that I can put it somewhere else in the agenda. And that was the story one, and then I just deleted it and forgot to relabel them. Because that's what happens when you are running on 4 hours of sleep and trying to make things work. Here's another good question that I think got asked and I want to say like last week, but we've been talking a lot of anime, and so this might actually be something we can talk into, which is now that we're getting a Ghost in the Shell adaptation, are there any movie adaptations you would like to see of anime, and are there any that you would not like to see?
Tough one.
I don't want Bebop.
Yeah.
I don't want Bebop. Bebop is fine. I don't even know if I like. We were talking about I guess they were going to rehash Bebop or something like that in an anime format. I don't even want that. Just because I think Bebop is such a perfect storm that you could easily just screw it up.
Probably.
That's
going to be on my to-buy list at Bonsai.
But Bebop?
Yeah.
Are you officially going to? Are you going to watch it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Right here on my Q&A stream, he admits he's going to watch Bebop. He's never watched it. I'm so proud of you, Alex, right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy with you.
Happy.
Brings a tear to my eye. And like I said, of course, we have some big announcements at the beginning of the stream. If you guys didn't catch those, I'm just going to point you guys to the beginning of the stream and watch that. And you'll be able to get all of those announcements because there's a lot there. I tried to cover as much stuff as I could without boring the crap out of Alex. And I could easily do that again now. But yeah, so the other thing too is I guess we'll try and work out Pokemon Go because I don't think it would be a good idea to push it out any further because we'll be screwed. It'll get cold and then it'll be harder to do. So we'll get Pokemon Go going. Hey, you see what I did there? Nobody has any. It's Saturday night, people. Nobody has questions.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another series that I want to see like from anime get adapted. I think I mentioned this. I would love to see a live action series of Witch Under Robin. I think it's entirely possible to do that. But a lot of my stuff is I don't want to see it in this format. I didn't want to see Ghost in the Shell. I didn't want to see Trigun, Bebop. I don't even think Akira could be done justice with a live action film.
Probably not.
No, because there's just too much history to go through. Like if they did a series, then you'd be able to do it. But you have to get the rights for a series. That's another thing that might actually start coming to the channel. I might start doing some TV vlogs. Because there's a lot of series that are coming to Netflix in the next little bit that I'm excited about, and I might want to get my viewpoints out there. In particular, I'm excited for Luke Cage. Luke Cage is literally due in 6 days, and I can't wait to get my hands on that. Supergirl Season 1 finally hit Netflix, so I want to watch that. And Flash Season 2 and Arrow Season 4. Want to get my hands on those.
Yes, Forlorn. I am watching.
Gasp! The hipster is watching a mainstream anime.
yes, I am. There's a lot of
Forlorn Hope. I want your assistance on this one. We're going to start a Kickstarter to get all of Dragon Ball Z for Alex, so that he can watch all of Dragon Ball Z.
No,
at that point, we'll be as mainstream as he can be.
There, I am drawing the line at Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, come on! No, I know it's not going to happen.
We're not going to sit through 200 episodes, half of which are just screaming for two episodes at a time.
But
we're going to say on Dragon Ball Z. Ah!
But there's also a lot of good comedy in there too. It's actually one of those things where I might have to like find all the comedic moments that happened. Somebody had a compilation of like all the funniest moments in Dragon Ball Z that ever happened and show them to you. Because that's probably the closest you'll ever come to watching them. Like, for example, when Goku started pimping off Vegeta's wife to Supreme Kai so that he could hit that next power level. It's like, Kakarot, that's my wife! I know, but my wife would never go for it. So you're just going to go ahead and pawn my wife off? Well, I didn't think you'd mind. She's my wife, Kakarot! The hipster? Wow, Dwarlax. Oh. Yes, you're looking at the resident hipster on Geek News Reviews and Opinions, as according to other opinions that have been given. I'm trying to think like of the one thing that actually set that off. I think it was the shirts. I think it was. Like you wore so many plaid shirts on so many weekends, and then somebody's like, oh my gosh, he's the hipster of the podcast.
Yeah, because usually I would be working evening shifts, so I'd be coming straight from work to get on the podcast. And at work, of course, we can't really wear a lot of branded shirts. We have to wear something very neutral. So I just go with the button-down plaid shirts.
Yeah, and the funniest part about that is like me and Aldo would come in t-shirts because we're just geeks and we're hanging out and having a good time. Romney, I think around that time when you got that, he was sticking to his show's motif of having turtlenecks. Mm-hmm. Now he's not as restrictive on that. And then you came in constantly with plaid shirts, and so people were just like, "Wow, he just needs to add a hat, and he's a full-on hipster." How do you know he hasn't added a hat? He hasn't added one, people.
I don't have a fedora, but I'm going to look for an anime-themed baseball cap when I go to Bonsai.
I was actually going to say, we need to get you a fedora just to take a picture of it. Just to say he's officially full-on hipster.
Well, then I need a scarf, and I need to grow my goatee out again. Not my goatee, it's a soul patch. What am I kidding? Yes. I can't grow a proper beard, but I got to grow that out, and then I got to get some more darker,
but that's a hipster thing too.
Glasses.
That's a hipster thing too, though. It's like the soul patch. So
yeah,
there you go. It works. But yeah, we actually need to get a picture of this, just like full on hipster, so that at that point we can just put it up and go, "Yep, he's going full on hipster at this point." This is Alex as a full on anime hipster, and we made it worse. Because we like perpetuated it because you only watch specific types of anime, and we made that clear. And I was trying to think like, because this was when you were in Emotica big, like you had just barely gotten the DVD, and no, you had the DVD by that point, but you were big into Emotica, hence why Homura is your channel's avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, so do you mind terribly if I tell people about the costume you wanted to submit?
Do so.
So another story that we can tell is Alex has been making a very stern campaign towards getting a particular costume for my daughter Aria, and I love the fact that when me and my wife actually saw the picture he was sending, we were trying to figure out, okay, which one does he actually want to buy her? Because there was a costume, which is basically a dozen donuts. Like you wear a dozen donuts. And then right to the right of it looked like something like a magical girl anime kind of dress. So we were like,
yeah, the outfit you're talking about to the right of the donuts it's just generic furry princess outfit because our store doesn't get cool costumes, which is why I don't know why we carry them.
Yeah, but at that point we were like sitting there going, okay, does he want her to be a magical girl or does he want her to be a box of donuts?
I wanted her to be the box of donuts.
Because she's so sweet.
Precisely.
Which unfortunately we disapprove because we've already gotten like 3 Halloween costumes. We have like 3 right now, and I know one of them is going to get worn.
Admittedly, it was probably a bit big because it's a size 3, but I just wanted to joke.
The sad part is like you got beat out by the grandparents like 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to joke. It's like, oh, it's so cute. Can we dress Arya as a box of donuts?
And of course, me and Andrea actually got into the joke of. He's like, no, he didn't want to buy the box of donuts. He wanted to buy a donut. It's like, I'm not having my daughter walking around that naked. She's not wearing a donut. That's not happening. That ain't happening, people. So that created a bunch of jokes.
I mean, for granted, a lot of you we probably sold them.
Yes, it's all right. Frankly, you're spoiling her so much anyway. I really wish I could go and show it, but like there's a big old plushie of Luna from Sailor Moon that he got her that she loves. So that's happened. I think you were going to get her like a little Haruhi at Bonsai this year.
I don't know about Haruhi. I'll find something for her again though.
If it's Kyubey, it's already been rejected. I don't need my daughter making no deals to no magical cats to become magical girls that lose their souls.
Okay, no Kyubey.
Crap, did I just spoil it for people?
Look at her a Pokemon.
Pokemon will work. Pokemon is like the all around. I'm trying to think. Does she have one already? She has a little Pikachu, but that's about it. She has a little Pikachu. So yeah, a little cute Pokemon would be perfect, I think. Oh. Now I want to hear in the chat, like, what Pokemon does he actually need to go out and get for her? Because there's a lot of Pokemon. I would actually say I would actually say no Jigglypuff. I'm afraid the eyes would scare her. Anything with big eyes, she can't deal. Which is funny because little Einsteins, their eyes are about as big as their head. And she's okay with that. But no. Show her an anime and like big anime eyes, she actually gets a little freaked out by it. This is literally her when I watch an anime, people. I can't turn away. I can't do it. So I've like watched Gundam in front of her, and most of the time she's just disinterested. But then when the characters come on the screen, she's like, so that's what happens in the Mickelson household. Oh my gosh, we're almost done. We're almost done with the live stream. Very few questions have been asked. Very few questions have been answered. It's mostly just been you and me ranting.
Yes. Few questions have been asked, but many lives have been sacrificed.
Indeed. Indeed. Now that I have my Philosopher's Stone, I can walk away happy. Speaking of which, did you ever get it? Did you ever get a FMA?
Yeah, I told you I got it. I got both series.
You got both? Okay.
Yeah.
I was curious as to which series you would go for, because I would almost point you in the direction of Brotherhood, just because more Armstrong. And Armstrong is awesome, people. Armstrong is like the crux of our jokes for a solid year before we ever did YouTube. Because I remember there was a time when I would get hooked on watching con appearances, and I always loved Chris Sabat. And whenever he tried to do like Vegeta at these places, or he did Armstrong, I especially love the one where somebody actually made the pink sparkles and then went up to him as he was doing the Armstrong impersonation and put the sparkles like right next to his body. Because that's how awesome Chris Sabat is. Do you want to know what makes me really sad about Bonsai? I probably won't get to meet Chris Sabat. I would like to meet a lot of voice actors and actresses. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be there on Friday.
I think he'll probably be there the whole weekend.
I mean, I'd love to meet him. I'd love to interview him. That'd be really cool. Like a live Geek News reviews and opinions with Chris Sabat.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, man. The voice of Vegeta, Kuwabara. Crap. All of his other roles are escaping me at this point. The original Piccolo. Or no, he was the new Piccolo. The original Piccolo was somebody else.
He's going to be in Freedom Planet too.
Is he?
Yeah.
He got enough money to hire Chris Sabat?
Apparently so. I think he's also helping with the voice direction.
Really? So they brought him in for like the full contract.
Yeah.
Very nice. I'm happy about that, actually. Holy moly. That makes me want to buy Freedom Planet 2. It really does. I've only seen one trailer. Do we know a release date for it yet?
No, not yet. All I know is they just finished. It sounds like they're wrapping up with the voice acting now, so I guess that means they'll be moving into animation next.
Yeah, probably. So hoping he's there on Saturday. I hope so too, but I don't know if it's going to be like, usually the big stars come to cons like on the first day and then they don't come back. But sometimes these actors will stay. There are so many actors and actresses I'd love to meet.
I mean, we had Vic Mignogna there like all weekend when he first came out.
I'd love to meet Vic. If for no other reason than to buy a DVD set of Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple and have him sign it. Because I'll bet I'm the only guy in that line that had him sign Kenichi and not FMA or something else. Excited to see Chris Sabat 2 got some Yu Yu Hakusho DVDs for him to sign. I don't know if I'd want him to sign DVDs. I'm not saying I'm against Kuwabara, but frankly, the only actor that I wanted to sign a DVD I have. And that's actually thanks in part to Alex.
Yeah. I got
Now
Laura Bailey to sign your Yu Yu Hakusho DVD.
Yep, my final one, which is like my absolute favorite episode in the series, is the last one. And so, great. Now I'm going to perpetuate the Laura Bailey rumor mill. No, because you got me the signing for it, and while you were off getting a bunch of Dot Hack ones for Wendy, I think it was Wendy Lee was one of them you got.
Nope, I sadly have not met Wendy Lee yet.
Who are the ones then that you got for when you went? Because here's a fun fact, people. Like all of the Dot Hack PS2 games that we've been playing are all, I think for the most part, they're all signed.
Yeah. That was Mary McGlynn, and that was Crispin Freeman.
Okay. All right, there you go.
So that was, in character terms, that was Helba and Ballman.
And now you just need Stephen Bloom, because how many times did we make fun of Stephen Bloom in the whole thing?
I need Stephen Bloom. I do.
Yes. I want Stephen Bloom, but I want it on Cowboy Bebop, because that's always going to be the voice that I remember him as. It's always going to be the thing that I think of first is Spike Spiegel. Love me some Spike.
Or just the whole party in general, to get Mona Marshall as Kite, Wendy Lee as Black Rose, Sandy Fox as Mistral. Then I can have the whole gang sign my Dot Hack games.
See, here's the thing. Like, I want to get a bunch of older voice actors that I don't even think do anything in the industry anymore. I think they've long since left. Like Scott McNeil, I'd love to get him to sign stuff too. And I don't think he does anything for the anime industry anymore, or for dubbing. I think Inuyasha Final Act was the last thing he did when he came back for Koga. Oh, well. Well, we only have a couple minutes left on the stream, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to us ramble for 2 hours. Thank you so much to Anime Atlas. Don't have any good questions tonight, but just want to say you guys are awesome, and I look forward to seeing your future videos. Thank you, Forlorn Hope. We appreciate that. We really do. I appreciate it, and me and Alex appreciate it, and Draken Shadow appreciates it. That one entity that people forget that we do. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the stream and sharing your questions and being able to share in this moment. And again, thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. This has been an amazing milestone for me to hit, and it's been hard to get here, but it's been worth it in the end. And so much more 100 subscribers is just the beginning. I've got so much more on the way that I want to be able to do. So much so that I'm almost killing myself in schedule, so I might have to work things out and pace them out. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Obviously, we have Pokemon Go coming soon, and we have so many other things coming down the pipeline very soon. And thank you also to Alex and to Anime Atlas for showing up to the 100 subscriber live stream to be able to answer some questions with me. And I think that does it for us. So we will probably see you guys in about an hour, because Geek News will be starting up around that time. I'll probably start up the live stream around 9:45, 9:50 my time. So if you guys want to be here around then, and we'll start talking about the stories of the week. Until then, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time.
Good night.